Hello and welcome to stage 1 of Club Day. Let's get into it. The very first thing I'm going to do in stage 1 is apply all the upgrades I will need to finish the very last race. We're going to fly through this quickly, and the amount I put in my potential upgrade costs was exactly correct, my video that I made. So it's going to cost you $2,253,800 R dollars, 550 gold. You need all tier 3 upgrades. So that's engine, suspension, etc., etc. Go up to level 3 for all of them, and that will enable you to finish the last race. Now, why do that now? Well, that's going to help you get more first place finishes or place as high as possible. Now, this is my first time driving this car. I have not done any tests at all. I know it's a Bugatti, so that usually means get on the brakes really early and have fun with the speed. So we'll see what this one feels like. So I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes because this is just trial and error. When you're driving a new car, like I know this track really well, but I don't know this car at this track, so I just have to make some minor tweaks to my braking points. I wasn't sure which circuit we were on. Definitely on the Grand Prix or full-length circuit at Coda, not one of the shorter ones. I almost turned left, and that would have been a bit of a disaster. So here, I'm not quite sure how early I need to brake. Regera, those are fun. Well, that wasn't actually all that bad. And coming up on the next corner, I also don't know, but let's just see what this looks like in the interior. Wow, is that ever sharp? That's a pretty nice car. So I'm going to brake earlier than I normally would, and I don't think that's early enough. Let's throw it to a skid. With all-wheel drive cars like this, when you throw them sideways, they brake faster than normal brakes will do. Don't know why it's with all-wheel drive cars more so than other ones, but you throw those sideways, like I've got all the brakes on, so all-wheel drive doesn't matter when the brakes are on, but for some reason these cars stop better when you throw them sideways. So, it's kind of cool. Anyhow, I'll try to dial in those braking points later. Right now, this particular race is almost over. Let's see. I started the apex really horribly there. Very bad trajectory into the corner. So, since we blew the race, we'll just back over the finish line. And that's it. And, I'm going to be showing you my earnings for each race. And at the very end, I'll tally up everything I earned. Not just the bonus amounts, but everything I earned. So everything I spent and everything I earned is going to be at the end of the Stage 5 video. And then, of course, I'll be doing the in-between stuff. Average speed race. Oh, gosh, what am I doing? Going substantially off track. Well, this is one of the advantages of having all these upgrades already applied. It's just easy to pass all the stages. I don't do any bot slowing on events like this. I'm just going to go Blaster the Rocket Boy right through all this stuff. Sorry if that sounds strange to you. I think there's a band called Blaster the Rocket Boy. It just came out of my mouth. Sounds funny. This car it blasts. It's like it's got rockets on it. So I feel like I am being blasted through things. Woo! That was a little bit slicey-dicey. Not necessarily obeying the rules here of the track limits, and I don't really care. I'm not, believe me, I could be slicing and dicing this track way more than you see me doing. Like, that was technically a legal cut in Real Racing 3, what I just did. Just have to have one tire on track. So here, I could slash this way more than I am, but I'm not. I always believe you should learn how to drive a track properly and also know the tricks of going off track that could help you. Just because in some stages it's beneficial. Hopefully we do get some difficult stages. I'm looking forward to that. Some high-speed, difficult stages. We'll see what we get. Oh, that didn't quite go right. Okay, so I'm going to have to get on the brakes earlier for this next hairpin. Boy, that's beautiful on the inside. My goodness, Bugattis just aren't nice on the outside. So let's get on these brakes earlier. That wasn't early enough. Oh my goodness. Well, that was horrible. Good thing I forgive me. Alright, well, learning the track. And by the time I learn this track, this particular stage will be over. But one thing I'm learning that will help me in other tracks. You see, if I know how far I have to back up my braking points at this track, I just apply that to other tracks. And it really helps you. So again, guys, I race with no assists, nothing at all. No brakes, no traction, no steering. I run tilt beat controls, sensitivity 2, I'm going to keep it there. Sensitivity 2 is feeling good with this car, so that's going to work for me. But yeah, so I'm just going to adjust, and you'll see I'm going to do better and better, but when I get to the next stage, I'm already going to have advantages because I learned about how far I had to back it up at this track. So if I'm backing it up by like, let's say it's like 10% or 20% or whatever it is, then I immediately apply that to the next track, and that'll give me an advantage right away. So you'll notice that I don't have to relearn every single track. I just have to apply what I've learned from this track to the other ones. So there's a myth. There's a myth out there with no assist racing, and that is you have to learn every track in every car, and that's not true. You learn each track once, and then you tweak it for each car. So this is a car that I'm going to have to brake really early in, so I'm tweaking it. Other cars, like let's say I was driving whenever the Formula 1 2021 season comes out, I'll be able to drive it in way deeper in those cars. Lots of people ask about that, and I guess people aren't really noticing that the 2019 and 2020 Formula 1 seasons came out in the fall, more later in the year, so there's just no way they're going to be coming out in like, boy, people were expecting it in January already, in February, so, and that's cool. I understand the anticipation, don't sweat it, guys. They're awesome cars to drive, so hey, I get it. I'm excited too. But it's going to be a few more months. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like September at the earliest. But who knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. See if we get some new tracks this time around. There should be. Every season they've been putting out some new tracks. And if they put out new tracks, that means that we're probably going to miss out on a track that we had in 2020. Like, we didn't see Suzuka in the 2020 season. Some people really didn't like that, but that's just the way it is. 2021, we're going to be missing out on some other tracks that we had in the first or the second season that we had that in Real Racing 3. Now, why am I talking about all that? We're driving a Bugatti Divo. I mean, come on. Il Divo. I almost thought I should have had some Il Divo as the backup singers, but probably got a copyright strike in my video, and that always sucks, so I'm not going to do that. We'll just have what we have. All right. Lots of interesting cars to compete against here. Really no competition in stage 1. Even if you didn't have, even if you had base upgrades, there wouldn't be much competition. Koenigsegg Regera. That is a fun car. Very interesting car. I kind of liked it when you could go just as fast backwards as you could forwards. I actually did a really big jump in that car driving in reverse, but they tweaked that. However, there are still some electric cars you can drive just as fast backwards as you can forwards, which is kind of stinking hilarious. Okay, I think we got one more race to go, right? Yeah, one more race to go. What do we have to do here? Overtake 5 different opponents. I bet you this race will end as soon as I do that. I think it said something about no off track, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, I better be a little bit more careful. So, Porsche, I forget what that one's called. I'm not going to say this correctly. It's like Wyzak or something like that, or Wyzash or something like that. Sorry, I'm not going to look it up and look up the pronunciation, but you know what I'm saying if you've seen it. Starts with a W, ends with a ch. So, with a bunch of letters in between. So I apologize. There's the third car. There's the fourth car. What do we have there? That looks like a McLaren. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to get a bunch of damage here. And what do we have here? Is that a Lamborghini Veneno? Let's see. I think so. Maybe. Had that kind of Veneno line to it, but I'm not 100% sure. All right. That wraps up stage 1. Like, subscribe, check out some links, and I'll be getting the other ones up here as soon as I can.